Vanitas is hiding within Sora's heart, and in fact he has always been there, concealed. Ever since Sora took Ventus's heart in for a second time. There he remains in hiding, persisting even in Quadratum. Hello everyone, I'm Shinners. Let me tell you about my theory. On today's topic, the imprisoned Vanitas. In Kingdom Hearts 3, Ventus had to be forced out using the power of waking. The Vanitas that we ran into was a Vanitas from the past inside a replica body. He went back to his time of origin just like young Xehanort did when he got defeated. I'll let Sayax explain it here.
The hearts of Ansem, Xemnas, Vanitas, Riku Replica, and young Xehanort returned to where they came from and reassembled once more. Each of them is seeking a guardian of light.
That will leave the mystery of where present-time Vanitas could be. The reason I think he is inside Sora's heart and not with Ventus is because he had no clue that the Vanitas he defeated was a Vanitas from the past inside a replica. For all Ventus knows, Vanitas just vanished, gone, destroyed. No indication of being worried about Vanitas returning at any moment. At the end of the game, when the Wayfinder trio are putting up their charms on Arrakis' Keyblade, Ventus reunites with his Shirity. Ventus is all too cheery and at ease, just like we have seen him to be during the whole of Birth by Sleep. To him, Vanitas was destroyed finally. Ventus is very aware of what's inside his heart. He could always tell when something felt off. Even in his days of Union Cross, he could tell. Even when Vanitas tried to force his way back into Ventus's heart, he was able to detect and fight Vanitas off. But we don't get that this time. This leads me to think that right now Ventus is pure of light. Vanitas left us a clue when he spoke to Sora in the Keyblade graveyard. He said,
"Then why won't you stand by our side? Instead of with darkness?"
Because I am darkness. And I do stand by your side. I'm the shadow that you cast. How much closer could I be?
To be the literal shadow that someone casts, you would have to be the person themselves. Or, let's say that this is a metaphor, because Kingdom Hearts loves using those. Let's say that instead of casting the shadow himself, he is inside the person who is casting the shadow, inside his heart. Namina said something similar to Marluxia back in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and that remained to be true. She, up to recently, has always been inside Kairi's heart. In Kingdom Hearts 4, Sora might need to defend these darknesses tooth to nail. This might be the role of the Guardians of Light, to defend the balance of light and darkness. Because light cannot exist without darkness, and darkness cannot exist without light. And the goal of the Master of Masters is to destroy that delicate balance. Vanitas is in a way telling Sora, I may not be of light, but that doesn't mean I'm not on your team and fighting for the same cause. Right now we might be enemies, but at the end of the day, we're on the same team. Back onto Kingdom Hearts 4, I believe the reason why Darkness and Heartless started appearing in Quadratum was because of Vanitas and not the Keyblade. Because we already have Strilexia, a Keyblade wielder in Quadratum before Sora, and Heartless only started appearing after Sora did. The Master of Masters is not included in the list of Keyblade wielders because he gave up his Keyblade and can no longer summon it. We see something similar in Kingdom Hearts 1 when Sora loses his Keyblade to Riku and has to make it through the castle with a wooden sword and magic. The Heartless go after two things, as Leon and Yuffie say. They are after the Keyblade, and they are after the darkness within people's hearts, and there is darkness within every heart.
Yes, Those creatures that attacked you are after the Keyblade. But it's your heart they really want, because you wield the Keyblade.
The Keyblade? Yeah, we had to get it away from you to shake off those creatures. It turns out that's how they were tracking you.
It was the only way to conceal your heart from them. But it won't work for long.
The Heartless? The ones who attacked you, you remember?
Those without hearts.
The darkness in people's hearts. That's what attracts them.
And there is darkness within every heart.
An argument could be made that it is the Kingdom Key that attracts the darkness. We have Strilexia, a Keyblade wielder in Quadratum before Sora arrived, and Heartless go after the Keyblade. Yet no Heartless showed up before Sora. Instead, I make the argument that the Kingdom Key is not the reason why Heartless started appearing in Quadratum. Darkness attracts darkness, and Sora unwittingly brought one with him. Let me explain. We have seen how Heartless come to you in every game. That includes Union Cross, where you play as player, you meet Ventus and the other Keyblade wielders who, for the most part, have Heartless coming towards them. Say Aqua in the fragmentary passage in the Realm of Darkness. When you get to play as Riku, Heartless come to you. Riku has Ansem inside his heart, that's a darkness. There is darkness within every heart. Aqua had a darkness, player had a darkness, and could actively use attacks infused with darkness. Ventus had a darkness, Scald, Ephemer, Lauriam, you get the point. None of these Keyblade wielders wield the Kingdom Key. In Birthright Sleep, we don't get any Heartless because Vanitas actively keeps them away from everyone by replacing them with Unversed. In Quadratum, we might just have a case of removed darknesses from people's hearts before reaching the world. But that is either unlikely or someone in particular has to be in charge of doing that and skipped Sora because he was unexpected. A bug, if you will. Sora is supposed to be a dull, ordinary boy. What makes Sora so important that Heartless show up in Quadratum for him and no one else? If it's really the Keyblade. If it were the Keyblade, Strilexia would have to deal with Heartless before Sora arrived. Because Sora crossed over with Vanitas' heart, now he has a perfectly good beacon to tell Darkness where Sora is and how to get to him. Vanitas, another being of pure darkness. Why do I think Sora crossed over with Vanitas' heart? Well, Ventus, Roxas, and Xion were accounted for. Ventus had his body back. Roxas and Xion got replica bodies. Except for present-time Vanitas. I believe Sora recognized this when he went back in time in the efforts to reconstruct Kairi's heart. When Ventus was struck by Terranort, a phantom version of Sora stepped to the side to catch Ventus, but he caught his heart instead. Then a voice speaks back to him.
Ven! Ven! What? Who are you? Darkness? Vanitas?
Sora's immediate reaction to hearing darkness is to ask if it was Vanitas. It was one of those cases of disembodied mute voices. like we have seen in Birth by Sleep, the day Sora was a new heart.
Who's there? But this is... Why are you in my heart? Yeah. That was my light.
It's not that unreasonable for Sora to think that the heart he was talking to was Vanitas, the only person he has yet to release from his quote-unquote prison, as Vanitas puts it in During Drop Distance. However, instead of Vanitas, we get another creature of darkness who represents itself as Dark Infernal X, leading me to think that Ventus is currently not holding on to Vanitas inside his heart, and this other darkness attached itself to Ventus for being pure of light. Speaking of great darknesses, the narrative reason why Sora has an anti-form and a rage form is because Vanitas is inside Sora's heart and has always been. Meanwhile, there is darkness within every heart. Some amount of normal darkness is not enough to cause specifically this effect on anyone. This only happens to Sora. He gets engulfed in darkness and exchanges health for strength. He acts erratic, feral, and out of control for a period of time before going back to his senses. It adds up when you consider that Xehanort forces Sora to go into a great rage in their last battle. Where would Sora get all this great darkness to turn into a literal dark being if he's so ordinary? Who's to say that Sora couldn't communicate with Vanitas in the same fashion that he communicates with the other hearts inside his own? We have seen Sora being able to spontaneously communicate with the hearts inside his own, like the way he did in Merlin's cave with Kairi in Kingdom Hearts 1, as well as in Kingdom Hearts 2 when he was having an internal battle with Roxas. Then we see it again in Kingdom Hearts 3 when he is speaking to Ventus, asking him how to unlock the power of waking to save both him and Aqua. If Sora is able to communicate with the hearts inside his own just like that, just by asking for it, who's to say he couldn't communicate with Vanitas in the same way? Sora already knows that Ventus and Vanitas had clashed before because Vanitas wanted their hearts to merge. Additionally, it was Vanitas himself who told Sora that he came from Ventus's heart, that he was extracted from Ventus. If there was any darkness in Ventus's heart, it should have been Vanitas, because he saw that the Vanitas he defeated previously had dissolved and went back to the past where he was taken from, just like young Xehanort did when he got defeated. So if there was anyone left, it should have been Vanitas, and that's why Sora tried to communicate with him, but he quickly found out that it wasn't Vanitas. It was some other darkness. This segment is mostly speculation. It's not backed by any evidence. The segment is just filled with stuff that it was interesting and I don't know where to fit it into. It just makes sense that Vanitas is inside Sora's heart because it's a way for the Master of Masters to notice Sora, a dull, ordinary boy. He would know Sora thanks to the no-name Keyblade's all-seeing eye. He would know that Sora rewrote Destiny, however that Keyblade is gone by the time the final battle with Xehanort starts taking place, and everything that happened after the rewrite is unwritten, and he cannot see or expect it. He would have no way of knowing where Sora would be, if it weren't for Vanitas being a beacon pointing at Sora's location 24/7. In a way, Vanitas being in there makes Sora a target for the Master of Masters, who is planning to destroy Darknesses once it has taken a form. He would either have a reason to have Sora gone from all existence, or he would have a reason to chase Sora to make him hand over Vanitas so he could be destroyed. If not the Master of Masters, he would surely get the attention from the foretellers, who will aggressively go after Sora for harboring Vanitas. I can see how all of them, if not some of them, would have the ability to tell when darkness is nearby. We already know that the Master of Masters does have this ability, as shown in Union Cross. I know it sounds outrageous. Vanitas is no hero, I hear you say. But we cannot ignore that the Kingdom Hearts Orchestra World Tour, in the Heroes and Heroines section, you can hear Vanitas' theme, Enter the Darkness, as the last song in that section. This was no accident. Nomura put it there, intentionally. This was a decision that was actively thought about, and we haven't seen it come into fruition. Unless we are counting Vanitas pushing Sora and Ventus' buttons to force Sora to release Ventus' heart as a heroic move. Something that Xehanort needed to happen anyway to ensure that there were 7 Warriors of Light. Nomura puts meaning into everything. Ignoring anything he does is a grave mistake, such as keeping non-numbered titles. Lastly, Sora can now ride on a storm of Keyblades. One of Vanitas' signature moves in his fight at the Keyblade Graveyard in Birth by Sleep. Maybe all of the Keyblade wielders can do this, but so far only Vanitas, and now Sora, can do that. Most likely because of Vanitas' heart being inside his own. And that's it. That's my video, that's my theory, that is my logic behind it. If you have anything you would like to add to it, you can go nuts in the comment section. I think I played devil's advocate pretty well. But if not, you can always just let me know. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to making more Kingdom Hearts content in the future.